It is a historic day in the Atlantic Basin as Hurricane Melissa has finally made landfall on Jamaica, right near New Hope. And as we can see, that is the western half of the island. This was around 1 o'clock this afternoon. Sustained winds at the time of landfall, still 185 miles an hour. And that central low pressure there of 892. Again, one of the lowest that has ever been recorded in the Atlantic Basin. What it currently looks like, we can see Melissa continues to track its way further north onto the island. This is going to continue to bring devastating winds and also surge along with that rainfall to the island over the next several hours before it starts to make its way towards Cuba, a little bit further north there. Now, one thing with this storm system that's a little bit of saving grace is how tightly compacted those hurricane force winds are. They only extend out by about 30 miles on either side of the storm. So the eastern half of the nation in the island out towards Kingston, they're not even anticipating to see hurricane force winds. And that's one of the most densely populated areas, which is the good news. But anywhere that's shaded in this purple color, that's where they're going to see devastating impacts from those 185 mile an hour winds, where likely a lot of the trees and infrastructure, sadly, is going to be flattened by that. Now, again, we had talked about the pressure, 892. Take a look at this list. This is the strongest hurricanes by pressure in the Atlantic Basin on record. Wilma in 2005 and Gilbert in 1988 are the only two that had a lower pressure compared to Melissa, where, again, it bottomed out at 892. And we can also see Milton last year on this list as well. Now, that pressure was measured by the hurricane hunters earlier on this morning, right before it had made landfall. Not once, but twice. A second flight was also able to measure that one too. And that hurricane hunters flight actually, once it finally had measured that low pressure, had to divert out of the eye wall of that system because of the severe turbulence they were experiencing, where there were some sudden drops of about 700 feet for almost about a minute straight. So hats off to them for their bravery in collecting all of that historic data today with regards to some of the drop sounds they were dropping into that. Now, rainfall wise, this is the other side of this storm system that we've been talking about too, the tremendous amount of rainfall. This is still what's to come. We're anticipating another 6 to 12 inches for a good portion of the island, especially a little bit higher, possibly in the elevation areas, the mountainous terrain of Jamaica, where some of the mountains are 6,000 feet high. So they will see some enhancement in that rainfall. After this evening, around 7 o'clock or so, Melissa should be out off of Jamaica and then making its way towards Cuba, as we can see here. Likely going to be making landfall as a Category 4, then weakening to a 3, but then it's going to split right in between Turks and Caicos and the Bahamas as a Category 3, transitioning into a Category 2. And by the time this is happening, we're likely going to see the wind field fanning out a little bit more. So this will be a bigger storm. And then it makes a very close approach on Bermuda before going up and out to sea. As we can see, that is a long distance away from us, which is the good news. But we'll continue to track all of the data that is coming in from Hurricane Melissa, and we'll keep the latest information up to date online. And then also we'll be breaking down some more information on this storm system coming up at 4 o'clock.